1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, why do you think we sold the building? No, it's one of the loving quirks of this space. The time is now. Maybe we just do that for. Literally. Oh, I told her it was after Kaddish. Betsy. I don't know when it is. I said, whenever you feel called to the bima,
Just stand up
ascend.
and shout whenever it is.
We'll give her a microphone. Hi, everyone.
It'll be like Silent Prince.
Oh, do not
We
disturb.
encourage you to sit close. We have an intimate crowd on a rainy evening.
Maybe we'll just listen to the rain for an hour.
A meditative rain
Yeah.
listening service.
Yeah. Just scoot the chairs closer.
Right there.
Thanks, Alicia. Alicia, I love your initiative. Initiative. to start.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to each of you this Shabbat evening, to all of you who have braved the rainy, windy evening to bring in Shabbat together, present here, and for all those who've joined us streaming online as well. I'm glad you're taking this time to bring in Shabbat together. We will continue bringing in Shabbat with the light of our Shabbat candles, and I'd love to invite forward Ruth Dubois and Beth Isaacs to help us kindle our Shabbat candles this evening. We also have tea lights there on that table for anyone who would like to join in the candle lighting this evening. Please come on up and don't be shy.
Well, I think we can. Oh, no, this one's lit. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. Oh, okay, that's right. Is it light? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it's still going. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner להדליק נר של Shabbat. Continue on our handouts as we welcome the angels of Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Continuing on our handout, we're awake now, I think. Continuing on our handout, L'chun Ranana from Psalm 95.
L'chun Ranana, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Adonai, Yai Nai 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 Nai, Nariya, Yai Nai 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 Nai, L'Tzur Yisheinu, Yai Nai 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 Nai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. L'chun Ranana, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Adonai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Nahariya, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Tzur Yisheinu, Yai Lai 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 Lai. For all of the wonder and all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. L'chun Ranana, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Adonai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Nahariya, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Tzur Yisheinu, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai.
This evening, we are actually concluding this day of Tu B'Av, which is a holiday that follows the heaviness of Tisha B'Av, the 9th of the Hebrew month of Av, last weekend, with this holiday of love and of joy, Tu B'Av, the 15th of the month of Av. And this is actually a holiday ancient enough that the Mishnah discusses it. That was that first code of Jewish law codified roughly in 200 of the Common Era. And in the Mishnah, it says that Tu B'Av was a joyous day during the time when the temple stood in Jerusalem because it was the beginning of the grape harvest, right? And wine is our symbol of joy, so you can imagine that this would be a joyous time. And additionally, it celebrated the wood offering that was brought to the temple. It was the day when the chopping of wood for the altar in the temple for the year would conclude. So this back-breaking labor would conclude on this day and be celebrated. But really the connection with love comes, at least in our first encounter with it, in the Talmud, so the code of Jewish law after the Mishnah, codified roughly 400 or 500 of the Common Era. And in the Talmud on Tu B'Av, it describes a custom of young unmarried women of marriageable age who would dress in white garments and go out into the vineyards, right, the beginning of the grape harvest, go out into the vineyards and dance. And the young men, unmarried of marriageable age, would come to witness this and hopefully make a shidduch. And there was an additional custom, and this is maybe my very favorite thing described about the holiday. An additional custom was these young women who would dress in white, they would actually exchange dresses with each other in advance. So one couldn't tell who was rich and who was poor, from what family even one came, but you would hopefully in this moment encounter the person within and not just the outer garment as it was exchanged. So I think this teaches us to look to ourselves, look to each other, not for our outer trappings, not for what we have, but a reminder that it's really about who we are. And it encourages us to strive to encounter each other in that way as well. That I-thou kind of encounter, really encountering the person, as Martin Buber would put it, I-thou encounter. So on this Shabbat, my hope is that we can draw in with gratitude the love that is in our lives, not just in romantic love relationships, but from friends, from family, from community, to draw it in and to bolster ourselves with that warmth and that love as we conclude Tu B'Av with this Shabbat. And in honor of Tu B'Av, the next few songs we'll do are a little taste of that love and the theme of love and Shabbat. So we will continue on page 43. Page 43 in our prayer books, Erev Shel Shoshanim.
Erev Shel Shoshanim, Netzena El Habustan, Mor Besamim Ulevona, Leraglech Miftan, Laila Yored Leat, Veruach Shoshan Oshva, Hava El Chashlach Shir Balad, Zemer Shel Ahava, Shachar Homayona, Roshech Malei Tlalim, Pichel HaBoker Shoshana, Ektefenu Li, Laila Yored Leat, Veruach Shoshan Oshva, Hava El Chashlach Shir Balad, Zemer Shel Ahava, Laila Yored Leat, Veruach Shoshan Oshva, Hava El Chashlach Shir Balad, Zemer Shel Ahava.
On the following page, Dodi Li, my beloved is mine and I am my beloved's.
Dodi Li Vani Lo Haroeh Bashoshanim Dodi Li Mizor Min hamidbar mekuteret moru levona. Dodili anilo haroa bashoshanim. Dodili libavtini achoti kala libavtini achoti kala. Dodili vanilo haroa bashoshanim. Dodili.
On the other side of your handouts, we will continue with Shiviti.
Shiviti avaya lenegdi tamid. Shiviti avaya lenegdi tamid. Havaya, 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 Ahava, 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 Havaya, 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 Ahava, Ahava,
We will turn in our prayer books now to page 10. Page 10 as we continue with Lecha Dodi, which also connects to this theme of love and joy. Lecha Dodi reminds us that we hopefully are greeting Shabbat with the love and the joy we might feel if we were greeting a wedding couple on their wedding day. And that is why on that final verse we rise and face the entrance, joyfully welcoming the presence of Shabbat.
מנוחה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam Besimcha, Uvtzola, Toch Emunei, Am Segula, Boi Chala, Boi Chala.
Together on page 15 for Chetzi Kaddish.
Yizgadal v'yizkadash shemei Rabba v'yalmad yivrach yirutei v'yamnich malachutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kavrivi meru. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam u'la'alam me'alamaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpar v'yitromam, ve'yitnaseh, ve'yitadar, v'yitalev, ve'yitalal. Shemei Kudsha, Brichu Lahela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Damiran Be'alma V'Meru Baruchu Et Adonai HaMevorach. Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Page 16, continue on your own. Umavir yom, umevi laila. Umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzevahot shemo. Elachai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai. Amari v'aravi.
Page 17. Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Chavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Alakei Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei toratecha, ub'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir, leimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam, Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Vayomer Moshe lemor daber. Lema antizkiru vasitem et kol mitzvotai. Vitem kedoshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeit yetchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lichyot lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
By Marge Piercy. The task never completed. No task is ever completed Only abandoned or pressed into use, tinkering can be a form of prayer. 26 botched worlds preceded Genesis, we are told in ancient commentary, and God said not only of this particular attempt it is good, but muttered, if only it will hold. Incomplete becoming the world was given to us to fix, to complete, and we've almost worn it out. My house was hastily built on the cheap, leaks, rotting sills, the floor a relief map of Idaho. Whenever I get some money, I stove up, repair, add on, replace. This improvisation permits me to squat here on the land that owns me. We evolve through mistakes, wrong genes, imitation gone wild. Each night's sleep unravels me into wool, then into sheep and wolf. Walls and fire pass through me. I birth stones. Every dawn I stumble from the roaring vat of dreams and make myself up, remembering and forgetting by halves. Every dawn I choose to take a knife to this world's flank or a sewing kit, rough improvisation, but a start. On page 21, Micha Mocha.
Sing it again. יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
On the bottom of the page.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim fros aleinu sukat shlomecha fros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Bottom of 22. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right,
top of page 23, we rise for the Vishamru, and we'll stay standing as we continue individually after.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל ואת השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי. Let's sing it together. We're on page 32. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך Imre vi Be'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri ve'gohani Adonai tzuri
At this time in our service, we have the opportunity to call into our hearts all those who are in need of healing. Healing of mind, of body, of spirit. We each have people in our lives in need of healing, and there may be some among us this evening in this room or gathered online also in need of that same healing. If you've joined us streaming online, please share the names of those for whom you are praying in the comments so we can include them in our prayers. And for those of us gathered here, if you'd like to share the name of someone for whom you are praying, I invite you to do so at this time. Those whose names are on our Misha Berach list in the bulletin this evening. The Misha Berach can be found on your handout.
Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yevarech veYirapeh et HaCholim Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yevarech veYirapeh et HaCholim El Narefana La El Narefana La El Narefana La El Narefana La Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yevarech veYirapeh et HaCholim
When I work with wedding couples, one of the questions I like to ask them in advance of their wedding is how they show love and caring for each other. How do you show love and caring for your partner? How does your partner show love and caring for you? You may have heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages, right? So maybe some of you have read it, others probably have just encountered the concept. But just to make sure, often couples are familiar with this book, sometimes they're not. And like anyone's system for talking about relationships, it can be oversimplified. There's no perfect system, but I find it to be a helpful starting point for conversation to help couples open up about their priorities, their preferences, and showing love and caring and receiving that as well. So the book lays out 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, receiving gifts, and acts of service. 5 love languages. And the idea is we likely all speak in some way each of these love languages, but we have a tendency to default to one of them or to prefer one of them, or maybe a couple of them much more than others. For instance, if your love language is receiving gifts, you probably find yourself, getting a little something here or there for people you care about, just feeling the impulse to do so naturally because you care for them and think of them. And you probably also feel particularly cared for when someone gives you a gift, particularly a thoughtful one. And maybe you feel unseen or unappreciated if a birthday or special moment comes and your loved one doesn't give you a little something. Or if your love language is acts of service, doing something small or large that'll help in the house or in the life of your loved one comes naturally to you. And if someone takes care of you or proactively takes something off of your to-do list and takes care of it, that makes you feel cared for. And the idea is that if you know and can discuss your own love language with your partner, and I'll extend it past partner, to anyone you're in close connection and relationship with, and your family, close friend, if you can have that conversation, you can work to recognize that person's love language, and they can recognize yours, and then you can each communicate your love more effectively. So this means performing acts of service if you know that is your partner's love language. And knowing that if their love language is quality time, their suggestion of watching a TV show together or just chatting over your morning cup of coffee is a way of them showing love and caring for you as well. So as I shared as we were beginning the service, we are concluding Tu B'Av as Shabbat comes in, this Jewish holiday of love. And I've been thinking about the love languages this week in anticipation of Tu B'Av. And even more so because of this week's Torah portion, Va'et Hanan. And in this week's Torah portion, you have to come to Shabbat AM tomorrow. There's a ton in this Torah portion, and we'll dig in.
What time tomorrow?
It's at 10:30 tomorrow.
10:30
10:30 tomorrow, Shabbat AM. Don't miss it. And there's so much in this Torah portion, but one of the many things is the Shema and V'ahavta. So the Shema into this first part of our V'ahavta prayer that we find in our services. And within it, we have this command, V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, right? Familiar words. You shall love Adonai your God, right? With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. But unlike commands to return lost property or refrain from lying or murder, this command isn't about, at least on its surface, something to do or to not do. To love God, a feeling, commanding a feeling, is harder to understand. What does it even mean to love God, and can a feeling even be commanded? I don't know about you, but having someone tell me to feel a certain way has likely never resulted in me actually feeling that way, right? Don't be sad. Poof, right? You're not sad, right? Be happy. Oh, okay, right? It doesn't work like that. So how can we wrap our heads around being commanded to love? One thing I appreciate about the 5 love languages is that it recognizes that in relationship, love isn't only a feeling, but it's something we show through our actions, even if we each have natural tendencies to show it in different ways. Love isn't just felt in the realm of the emotional or the abstract. No, love is spoken. Love is expressed in the concrete realm of action. We are commanded to love God, then, not in order just to cultivate a feeling, but we're commanded to love God because it's meant to indicate to us how we need to act in the world. We are to act in the world in a way that it displays love for God. Okay, now you may be saying to yourself, okay, Rabbi, even so, loving God, even if that is an action, not a feeling, what does that mean in real terms? And I believe that the answer is found in another well-known command that begins with that word V'ahavta. This one in Leviticus 19:18, so the section of the Torah known as the Holiness Code, where we find V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Another very familiar command, again, to love, right? You shall love your neighbor as yourself, meaning you shall show love in your actions with the people you encounter, the people with whom you're in relationship, just as you would want them to show caring for you in a way that honors who you are what your needs and preferences are. We love God by loving others. We show love for God by acting in a caring way to others, proactively and thoughtfully. When you take care of something that's been weighing on your partner's mind, when you support a friend with your presence in a time of difficulty, when you proactively make sure to carve out quality time with your child or your grandchild, instead of multitasking or figuring you'll find time for that later. And on and on. Even in community, right? When we look at our community and see if there's something that needs our care. Attending a Shiva to support someone grieving even if you don't know them. Donating to a food pantry, even welcoming someone new into this sanctuary, even if you don't exactly know what to say to them from the jump. Making that step, those are acts of caring for people, which is how we show love for God. Actions of love. On this holiday of love, as it concludes with this Shabbat, I invite each of us to conscientiously perform loving actions this week. Really engage in seeking out loving actions toward others in the world. How would it transform each of our lives if we were on the lookout for opportunities to show love in our actions? In the days ahead, may we strive to proactively live out the command of love in our own lives, bringing love from the realm of the abstract and the emotional into the realm of the concrete, lived world. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Amen.
Ken Yehi Ratzon, Yishar Koach. A song of love from John Lennon. Grow old along with me. The best is yet to be. When our time has come, we will be as one. God bless this love. God bless our love. Grow old along with me. Two branches of one tree face the setting sun. When the day is done, God bless this love. God bless our love. Spending our lives together, deepness of love forever, world without end, world without end. Grow old along with me. Whatever fate's decrees, we will see it through, for our love is true. God bless this love. God bless our love.
What could follow that? Gosh. Well, it is a pleasure now, before we continue with the concluding prayers of our service, to invite forward a member of our board of directors, Betsy Zangara, to share some words of welcome with us.
Hi, everybody. I'm Betsy Zangara, member of the board of directors. My love language is acts of service, so if my husband's watching from home, feel free to do the dishes. So a few announcements. Don't forget to RSVP by this Tuesday, August 16th for Derot. our special multi-generational Kabbalat Shabbat service and barbecue dinner on Friday, August 19th. That's next Friday. Pre-registration is appreciated. The link is on our website. There are still some openings in the class on Pirkei Avot, a section of the Mishnah dedicated to ethical guidance, led by Rabbi Capel. The class starts this Thursday evening. Call the office to register or visit the link in your e-Chai. Our adult choir is welcoming new singers as we prepare for the High Holy Days. I heard a lot of beautiful voices tonight. Rehearsals begin August 21st. Please be in touch with Cantor Woman if you are interested. And after services conclude, you can find board members identified by our badges at the rear of the sanctuary. Please come up, introduce yourself, and get to know us.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue now in our prayer books with Aleinu, which can be found on page 38. Page 38, and we rise together.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
You may be seated. Our thoughts turn now to all those we have loved and lost, friends, family members of our congregational community for whom we are in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit or simply remembering at this time. If you've joined us streaming online, please do share the names of those you're remembering in the comments so we can hold them close in our hearts with our own. As a congregational community within the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, we remember our beloved member Jules Rossman. If anyone else present is remembering someone, whether a yahrzeit, period of mourning, or simply remembering at this time whose name you would like to share, I invite you to rise and share those names. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Together as one community, we will rise in support of those in mourning or observing yahrzeit as we continue with Kaddish on page 40. Page 40. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
V'yama divrach lirtei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Bagala vizman kariv imru amen.
Amen.
Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran v'yama v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osa shalom b'imromav hu ya'asa shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
From the sanctity of memory, we move to the sanctity and joy of this moment, from Kaddish to Kiddush. And to help us with Kiddush, it is my pleasure to invite forward Joan and Michael Neer. Kiddush can be found on page 41.
atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kiddashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat lechaim. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu.
Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen.
And my daughter just takes all the chocolate.
She knows where it's at. Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzeitecha. As you were blessed and brought blessings with you into the sanctuary, so may you be blessed and bring blessings with you as you go. Shabbat shalom.
Oh, say shalom